Hello and welcome to another episode of Easy Redstone Survivor Builds. And it's been a little over a year now, but here we are with episode 4, and it is a sort of a easy, quick, beginner automated smelter. Set up here with 4. You can also see an example made over here with the smokers. You input into here, and then it would automatically cook the food here, and it just works off of bamboo. So you can find bamboo early on in your survival world. This can be pretty easy to make. So with further ado, let's just jump into it. Okay, so here we are. Our little setup here. Ready to go. We have a 9 by 8. So 9 by 8 long here. That's going to be your setup. I've already added these here. I should undo this. We're going block by block. This right here is going to be our output chest. This is going to be our input chest. Okay, so everything we smell, we want to run into this chest. So you have to keep pressing the hoppers into the hopper before it. As you'll see, it flows in to this chest. All right, so we have 2 different circuits here. We'll have the input, and then we'll have the actual thing that feeds the smelter its fuel, which will be bamboo. So shift click on the back of each of these independently. So our bamboo is going to be an automatic bamboo farm is going to feed these, an automatic bamboo farm. So what we do is we want to put this here on the ground level, and we're going to plant our bamboo here, right? Which means whenever it grows up, it's going to be pushed by these pistons here, and so this bamboo will grow up. The piston will push it, and it will fall into the hopper. And it's not perfect, but you'll see, right? So yeah, bamboo on the ground floor, pistons 1 block above that. Now, how do we get the pistons to fire, right? That's the question. Well, that's when we need an observer. We put an observer facing this way, right? So whenever it reads that, whenever this bamboo grows, it will send an output, a signal output. We run that across here, like this. So when this happens, they all get pushed, right? Right. And yeah, so that's pretty much all you have to do for this this part of the circuit. And then get the bamboo, right? And this can extend out for as long as you'd like. Max efficiency, you would put observers like this over every single one, because otherwise what will happen is, obviously like this one will grow up and there's nothing there to read it, and so this one will be the last one and take forever. But yeah, as you can see, we already have a couple fall in, so it's working. It does get stuck sometimes down the bottom. I do not know a way to fix that, other than maybe if we lowered the whole thing, you might be able to do that. If you were to bring this down, down a level, potentially, I'm not sure, but then you just close it off with whatever you'd like to close it off with. Obviously, if you have blocks here, that's going to help. Blocks here, stuff like that. That's going to help keep the bamboo from falling out and only going where you want it to go. All right, now for the next circuit, we're going to have an item elevator. Okay, so what's happening here is we want to run this chest over the top here into these. We want whatever we put into here to go into this hopper and fall in. in there, right? So this is how we do that. So we have our 2 hoppers coming out of this chest. We'll have a dropper here, and I would like to utilize a water elevator, a system that utilizes water elevators. So we're actually going to put soul sand on top of this here, shift click. And then we have to surround this block here. So what will happen is it will shoot up into this soul sand block and elevate. Okay, so we have our bamboo automatic farm feeding our system some fuel. I'm working on our input chest here, and as you can see, we have our hoppers into a dropper into soul sand, and we have 2 blocks of water here, but there needs to be a third one, and this third block of water needs to flow over this hopper here. So what's gonna have to happen is you got to be real careful because, you know, water messes everything up. But I believe if we do this right here, we put that water right there, it flows across. But we're only really needed to hit this right there. So you could actually stop it there. So we could actually have it just like that. And then we come down here and we break these bottom 2 so that these 2 sides of this dropper is exposed. And what we do from there is we take a comparator output from here, run it into a block, take from the block, take a redstone repeater, put it into another block. We got a repeater going here, then we'll have dust doing this. Alright, so what's going to happen is I'm going to put an item in here, it gets shot up. And now it's in this system, probably fell down right here. Yeah. And obviously you saw the way it shot up, that item did. That means we're going to have to cover this top up, which is fine. Yeah, so that's the delivery system, the input here. Anything you chuck in here is going to shoot up and go into this hopper here. So now you might be thinking incorrectly, that's a problem because it's going to go just straight into this hopper here. So how do we get it to disperse evenly across all these hoppers? And we have a solution to that, and it involves, I have it built over here, so I'll just show you. Coming off the top right here, we have all these hoppers locked, right? And we take a comparator output. So if you just run a line right across the top of your furnaces, right? So you can still get access to your furnaces, everything's normal here, but right across the top, just run a line of redstone. And from this hopper at the top, we want to take a comparator output and run that comparator output into a block. From that block, we want to put a redstone torch coming out of the side, facing the front. And then off the side of the torch, heading into our line of redstone, we want to put a repeater. Okay, so this redstone torch is powering the repeater that's powering this line that's blocking all these hoppers right here underneath. So When we put items in and it comes to this hopper, it can't drop down. And remember, hoppers always want to drop down before they go over. So if it can't drop down, it goes over. If it can't drop down, it goes over. If it can't drop down, it goes over. And actually, I'm going to change something real quick. Make sure you don't have this last hopper facing down. Make sure it's actually facing over. Because when the hoppers are facing directly on each other, sometimes they override the lock, that mechanic, and they just go down. So it doesn't give it priority, whatever, it just goes. And so it gets here, whatever item gets here, it hits this comparator, it turns this comparator reads it, turns this torch off, and this blinks off, and so all of the items following along will drop, right? So I'll just show you as an example. If you throw half a stack of cobble in there, you see it starts coming up, and it blinks, and it blinks, and it blinks, and it blinks, right? It gets here, this comparator reads it, and it has stuff along the runway, right? So, and then it drops in. Now, obviously, it's not perfect. Then the more you extend it, the more issues you will have with how to keep this signal strong. And bamboo burns very quickly, which is another issue. But it passively will do this while you're doing anything else in the game. And you can actually rig it up to, if you have a lot of bone meal, you can actually rig it up to grow really quickly with another circuit underneath here. But if you block it all off, you know, here you have a perfectly good auto smelter, all finished. There you go, you did it, right? All the steps, right? There's an auto farm in the back. Just uses an observer. There's an item elevator that takes into some hoppers that just uses a little locking mechanism to evenly spread, and you can extend this out for forever this scales. So that is it. That's all it takes to build a easy redstone survival super smelter. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. Again, I'm gonna try to get back into it as long as I can. The next episode, debating between the two things, might do a piston door. I might show how to create a automatic potion brewer. So you press a button and it brews whatever potion. 3 of them. So I'm debating between those two things. This is obviously very expensive for survival, so that's why I'm debating not doing that. But I'll see. So, made it this far. Thanks. All right, bye.